everyone, it's Kat here. Today I'm going to show you how to format a chart. We'll use both primary and secondary axes and make it look all pretty. So here what we have is our final chart, what we want it to look like, but that's not where it starts. So what we've got over here is we've got the number of approvals, number of applications, and then the approval percentage, which is simply, if you click on the cell, it's a formula. It's the approvals divided by the number of applications, gets you the approval percent or approval rate. So to make a chart, you highlight your data, go to Insert, we'll do a bar chart. And here's what it starts out looking like. You can see the colors are pretty bright. You can't really see the approval percent because it's way down at the bottom. So what we'll do first is we'll put that approval percent on a secondary axis. So to do that, it's kind of hard to click on them because it's so tiny. So what I'd like to do is just make it bigger. So you can click on it, and then you do a right click and you can do change series chart type. So for the approval percent, we want it to be a bar or a line, excuse me. We want it to be a line. And then for secondary axis, we want it on a different axis so that we can actually see the numbers, because when you put it together with the units, you just can't see it. All right, so now we've got it on our secondary axis. I'm going to change it back. So I'm going to click on the formula, and I'm going to click and drag it over so that it updates. So there we've got our line there. Next, we want to adjust the grid lines. So let's say you want a maximum over here of 200. And we'll say that we want, in between each line, we want 50. Sorry, let me click on it again. So the major unit, you want to change that to 50. And we'll adjust our percentages over here as well. So we'll click on that. The percentages are in a decimal, so 100% is 1. And then we'll do maybe every 25%, so 0.25. And so that way these line up with the line, the grid line on both sides. All right, now let's get rid of the orange. It's too bright. I don't like it. So let's click on it. You notice it highlights all of them here. That's what we want. We can either right click, or you can go over to your Format Data Series. So for the fill, let's pick a gray color. And then, these are pretty skinny, so why don't we make them a bit wider? You have this gap width, and you have a series overlap there. If we want the series overlap to be 0, you can see that their bars are getting closer and closer together. So they're side by side right now. The gap width, I don't want much space in between, so I'm going to reduce the number of gap width I have here. Let me just highlight it and do 50. All right, so now we have it to a more reasonable size. It takes up more of the page. Another thing you can do is you can add these numbers up here. So, instead of having to look over to the axis, if you want to just add the number, you can click on the series, right click, and then you want to add data labels, and it adds that number there of approvals for you. We'll do that again for the gray. Add data labels. And let's say we want to do it for the green line, but we only want to add it to the very last dot instead of all of them. You can click on it again, and it just highlights the one instead of the whole series. And you can add a data label and it'll show up there like that. What I think I'll do, or what I did on this one, is I changed the numbers. I'm gonna go ahead and click off of it and click back on add the data labels or format data labels. Let's just do that. I'm gonna click on it and I'm gonna delete that off so that I click on the whole thing and I can add my data labels back. Now you can see that it's kind of overlapping the other ones. So I'm gonna put this on top of the dot instead of next to it. So if I click on it over here in my options, let's see sorry, I'll go back to label options. It says label position, and I don't want it to the right, I want it above. So I'm going to click above. There we go. And to make it stand out, I will bold. So I'll add the bold there. Don't forget to update your chart title. We want to update the title to be exactly what's represented in the chart. So approval percentage by month or per month. You can see that this one has a line around it. Some people like the line around the chart and others don't. So if you don't want that line there, you can click on it, and over on border, you can do no line and that'll remove the line. There you go. So we have it similar to our goal. You notice we changed the colors. We added a secondary axis. We were able to create the labels how we wanted them to be on the side for the axis. And now it's ready for a presentation. Hope you learned something new. If you did, like and subscribe, and let me know what other content you'd like to see. Thank you. Before we go, there is one more thing I'd like to share, and that is how to adjust the chart when you've got more months of data. So if we highlight a couple of months here, you can simply drag it over. We know that this approval percent is a formula, so we can drag that over as well. Then you enter in what your number of approvals were and the total per month. And then if you click on your chart, you can see it highlights what's in the graph. So then you simply drag and hold and pull it over, and your chart will automatically update. You can see that this had to tilt sideways in order for it to fit. So one of the options, that you have there is to be able to, you can make it tilt all the way sideways. You can make it go up and down. Let's see, text direction. I'll do rotate all to 270. So then it goes up and down there if you like that view better. And there you have it.